One of my favorite comic strips is Pearls Before Swine. I don't know if you've seen it. Some of you are shaking your heads. You know that Rat can be a little feisty and a bit of a social critic. So when you hear some strong words in this, it's not from me, it's from Rat. So Rat goes to the returns department at a department store. And he says, well, the gentleman says to him, "Hi, can I help you?" And Rat answers, "Yes, I'd like to return the year 2020. It really sucks." Then you see Rat with his friend Pig in the next scene. And he says to his friend Pig, "We're stuck with it." This has been an interesting year, 2020. This is the first pandemic of our lifetime, and hopefully it's the last one of our lifetime. Our whole routine has been turned upside down as a country and as a world. We Americans, we want things organized and neat and tidy, and that's all right. But that isn't happening right now. People are stressed, and they're tired, and they're anxious, and sometimes depressed. And when our defenses were down, God made us face squarely the issue of racism in our country. So it's been a double whammy, and we feel sometimes lost at sea without an anchor. But they say that human diversity is God's opportunity. I believe that this pandemic also is a great spiritual gift to our nation. I also believe that the race issue is a similar gift and opportunity. Our culture does seem to reward a more superficial existence. And life so often, life seems a distraction from living. One of my friends is a psychologist and a person of deep faith, and he just sent me a book called The Road to Joy. And in it he writes, "The search for peace, relief, and contentment in drugs, alcohol, food, work, sex, and the internet provides a temporary escape that masks the real dilemma of the empty, lost soul within." That too often describes how many people experience life. As one wise person once said, "Let us thank God that He makes us live among the present problems. It is no longer permitted to anyone to be mediocre." In our present crisis, Christ speaks these very consoling words to us. "Come to me, all you who labor and are burdened, and I will give you rest. Take my yoke upon you and learn from me, for I am meek and humble of heart, and you will find rest for yourselves. For my yoke is easy and my burden light." So let's take Christ at his word. Imagine that you are sitting with him and you see his piercing eyes and his gentle smile, and you feel his deep love for you, and you sense his faith in you, and he speaks your name, and he says, "Tell me about your life." And you tell him everything about your life. You unburden your soul. And when he speaks back to you, after listening to you, you realize that everything in your life is unfolding exactly as it needs to right now. You see that whatever problem you've had that is beyond your strength to cope is your royal road to transformation. And you feel this immense love and this peace and this inner freedom that he only can give you. And you understand what St. Paul says. It's a quote I love. "It is when I am weak that I am strong." Deep down you realize all is well. Christ's one desire is to be one with you and with me. Yet he's so meek and humble of heart. As St. Teresa of Avila writes, and since he doesn't force our will, he takes what we give him. But he doesn't give himself completely until we give ourselves completely. Our humble King, Christ the Lord, entered Jerusalem not on a horse, like St. Wenceslas pictured on a horse. He entered on a donkey. I won't use the word ass. Donkey. He was so humble. A horse for a king in Israel was a symbol of war. A donkey is a symbol of peace. The only thrones where Christ was comfortable was his mother's womb and the manger and the cross. Now he humbles himself again to lower himself to become, in bread and wine, fully present to us. And his throne is your heart, is the human heart. He gives himself completely to you and to me. When will you give yourself completely to him? I'll leave you with the words of a song I like called, I Heard the Voice of Jesus Say. It's set to an Irish melody, but I don't have a great singing voice, so I won't sing it to you, but I'll just give you the first verses. I heard the voice of Jesus say, come unto me and rest. Lay down, thou weary one, lay down, thy head upon my breast. I came to Jesus as I was, so weary and worn and sad. I found in him a resting place, and he has made me glad.